Hello, and welcome to Anime Audio Commentary. Today I'll be commenting on episode 6 of Code Geass. If you'd like to watch along, then start watching now. So last we left off, Suzaku was acquitted and he's also hanging out with the princess now. And, man, I guess we're just ditching those recaps now. You know, we're just getting right into things. Oh, that's intriguing. There's something there. So, whenever somebody sort of mysterious talks about a plan, that's how you know things are starting to get real. And I guess unfortunately for Suzaku, even though he was acquitted, there's still suspicion. And, I guess now that we're here looking at the classroom, I guess that's the other thing. He's a transfer student now, so he and Lelouch will presumably spend a lot more time together. But man, I think everybody's kind of treating him rather poorly considering he was acquitted. I mean, I guess this is really highlighting the distinction between the actual legal system and the court of public opinion. There are a lot of people who probably believe that he is guilty, even if they won't necessarily say it out loud. And, a reputation like that's hard to shake, especially because he is truly innocent, This is only a negative thing. Alright, so, interesting. Interesting that Lelouch and Suzaku developed this sort of non-verbal system of communication. And, I guess, it is true, this is really the first time they're actually speaking since the incident in episode 1. I mean, obviously, we, the viewers, know that he was talking to Lelouch under the guise of Zero, but, Lelouch has to keep a secret identity. Oh. Okay, so Suzaku knows who he really is. Lelouch V. Britannia rather than Lelouch Lamperouge. Alright. So there's all sorts of layers here. Man. I get the feeling that this is going to become more and more confusing as time goes on, keeping track of all this stuff. I mean, maybe that's a personal failing more than anything else. Honestly, I almost hate to say it, but I was kind of expecting to see, Pizza Hut in that hall of paintings, just because it seems to pop up everywhere. I think I'm gonna keep, a running tally of every time I see it. Because, since, I think since episode 2, it's cropped up in every episode so far. You know, it's always nice to get a little demonstration of why precisely nightmare frames are maybe not the standard, but like the thing the Britannian Empire relies on, since they seem to be perfectly matched towards fighting most other types of armor. And I mean, like, small arms aren't going to do much against something like this. Like, it's an armored, well, machine. I mean, I'm just trying to think about, like, how one would handle something like that, and I think, like, really, you just kind of have to fight fire with fire. Or just overwhelming firepower from other sources. Oh, this is sweet. You know, it's nice of Lelouch to do something like this. Although I feel like, maybe he doesn't have to be so coy about it. It's... At the risk of sounding like a jerk, it's not like she's gonna see him coming anyways. But, it's interesting how she can seemingly tell just by touch alone. I mean, maybe this is one of those things where when you lose one sense, your other senses are sharpened. You know, I don't know whether or not that's actually true, if it's just sort of like a popular myth, but... I mean, regardless, this is nice. Now that is kind of interesting that Suzaku would still be involved with the military. I mean, I would think just for the sake of political expedience, they would, kick him out, wipe their hands of it, and be done with it, but... I mean, I guess, he's been transferred, so presumably he's, more of like a researcher or something like that. You know, they probably don't give him a gun. Ooh. You know, I'm pretty sure Lelouch said, like, the green-haired girl, like, she went somewhere, like, we got separated, I haven't seen her. Maybe I misread the subtitles, but, I feel like that's not a tenable lie. Ooh. Man, that's, it's rather harsh for Jeremiah, such a severe demotion. I mean, all things considered, it's probably better than being executed for being a traitor. But, he really got the short end of the stick for something that was really not his fault. Yeah, I guess just to put a really fine point on it, Suzaku is aware that Lelouch is a prince in exile, and, something tells me that's not exactly information that should really be spread around carelessly or at all, because, if people were willing to assassinate Lelouch's mother, what would they do to him if they knew he was potentially a contender for the throne of the Emperor? Wow. That's an interesting lie for Lelouch to say, I got a bad grade on a test, that's why I didn't show up to student council. Like, he really doesn't seem like the type. So things are getting a little bit tense, It turns out Cornelia is rather effective and she managed to crush another rebel group. So, Zero's gonna have to start putting in some work. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of things that need to be balanced here between Lelouch, his goals, the rebellion, Suzaku, just family and school and all that. Well, I guess this kind of makes sense. Oh, there's Pizza Hut. Wow, that's just blatant. Man. But, what was I gonna say? The girl. Like, I guess it would make sense for her to be so skittish about Suzaku, seeing as how all she knows is, what was broadcast on the news, She doesn't know Suzaku as, Lelouch and Nunnally do. They know who he is, they know what he's like. And furthermore, I guess Lelouch has real concrete evidence that he didn't kill Clovis, mainly because Lelouch himself was responsible. Alright, so maybe I'm missing something here, but I feel like Lelouch was deliberately keeping C2's presence here a secret. Like, has he not broken it to Nunnally yet? Because I feel like you can only hide another person living in your house for so long, even if the person you're trying to elude is blind. Oh dear. Yeah, that's really not good. Oh dear. Well, I mean, I guess you don't have to explain too much to Nunnally, seeing as how she didn't witness the cat steal the helmet and run out. This is almost like a one-off sitcom bottle episode or something. Like, oh, whoops, the cat is wearing his helmet and now he's running into a populated area. It's almost like a farce. Ooh. And now Nunnally's sharing that with the group. Man. I mean, surely, like, the cat, for lack of a better term, is kind of out of the bag now. They know something important is being taken. I mean, naturally, they assume it's something like, standard embarrassing rather than what it actually is. I mean, surely Lelouch has the presence of mind to lie about something like this. I mean, nobody's going to suspect that he's like, essentially a terrorist. Man, I mean, how hard is it to catch, like, a wounded cat, too? Man. Ooh, oh, this is bad. He's just having to, basically Geass anybody who sees this. He better hope that one teacher doesn't see the cat, otherwise he's really screwed. Oh. Oh, this is bad. See, it's weird because this isn't like a super high stakes thing. Like, it is, but it isn't, There are real consequences here, but it's just a cat having stolen something. Oh, man. Man. Yeah, I'm really just kind of at a loss here, because I thought Code Geass was going to be, like, serious all the time, but this is just bizarre. It almost puts me in mind of Kill la Kill, where all the clubs are sort of single-mindedly working towards one just sort of insane goal. In this case, like, catch a cat rather than stop Ryuko Matoi. But, man. Uh-oh. Man. You know, I find it interesting that they're asking the blind girl about what the cat looks like. I mean, I guess she did say, like, any strange characteristics, which could mean anything, really, but, like... I mean... I was thinking, how would she know the cat's injured, but I guess if Lelouch mentioned it, you know, that would be one thing, but an injury doesn't need to be visible. You know, sometimes cats limp, and they aren't visibly hurt otherwise. Man, everybody's sure going for that prize. Even other student council members. You know, for once, I'm truly baffled about what the outcome could possibly be. Because there's so much opportunity for interesting plot developments. I mean, if Kellen catches the cat, you know, she can sort of, like, keep the secret about Zero, but that would mean she knows Lelouch is Zero, which offers all sorts of complications, but at the same time, surely another student council members and even other students, or Suzaku actually, he would be an interesting person to learn about this, especially given what Zero has done. Because on the one hand, you know, that would give him cause to thank Lelouch for helping him, I guess, but he probably wouldn't see it that way. He would probably see it as sort of like a perversion of the justice system, you know. Especially seeing as how he got acquitted anyways, he would probably resent his friend effectively holding a bunch of people hostage to try and free him. Ooh. Oh, this is bad. To climb a clock tower like that out on the roof just to catch the cat. I mean, that's a rather steep slope to the roof. And I guess the issue here is that Lelouch isn't particularly athletic. Man, that's a good way to fall off the building and splatter yourself. I mean, I really don't like heights, so I think, you know, if I were a hypothetical character chasing after a cat, I'd probably call it quits here. Ooh. Okay. So that's something, you know, the cat is no longer an issue, but the helmet. Oh, man. Like, are people gonna see the helmet now, I wonder, because it's just sort of out in the open. Man, you know, that poor cat must have had a real wild time trying to get that helmet off. Man. It's like this whole episode was like a funny cat video where a cat gets its head stuck in a jar. Man. So I guess that's a relief. You know, Suzaku didn't see what the cat was wearing. Oh. Okay, yeah, everybody... Oh, never mind. I thought they were going to be curious about a secret and go investigate, but, it seems like he's managed to fix everything. Although the question is, you know, did he stash the helmet or is he sort of hiding it? I don't know how he would. It doesn't seem like it collapses to be too flat. Oh, this is an interesting wrinkle. I mean, understandably, people are still sort of scared of Suzaku, given that he's an 11, but... I mean, I guess if Lelouch is just like, you know, he's my friend, you know, that should be as good an endorsement as anyone could want, really. I mean, at this point, Lelouch is, what would you say, above reproach, you know? Wow, they get the reward. I mean, it's kind of weird getting a kiss from your sister, even if it's not on the lips, but, Wow. So I guess even though most of the council is accepting Suzaku, that one girl isn't, and I don't quite recall her name, but I'm wondering if she's going to become a problem. So I guess it can't be helped either that everybody sort of has to attend this state funeral. I mean, when one of the princes dies, like, what else can you do, really? He's pretty important. Alright. This is an interesting speech from, presumably, the Emperor. You know, he's not entirely wrong, but I feel like there should be a but at some point. Yeah, you know, I'm wondering what he's getting at here. You know, it's interesting that he's bringing geopolitics into it, because I guess, to some degree, the politics would be different given this is an alternate history, but at the same time, they're also the same. You know, mentioning the European Union and China. Although that said, that's kind of a callous way to talk about your son. I mean, with his death, it's proof that Britannia continues to evolve. I'm not sure how he gets to that conclusion. Because it seems to me that he's kind of saying, like, my son was weak, we're better off without him, but I mean, surely that can't be what he's saying. I mean, that's way too callous a thing to say at a funeral. Especially about the deceased. Alright, well that's it for this episode. If you've enjoyed it, then by all means, tune in for the next one. See you, Space Cowboy.